much for your work here. I am really enjoying getting to see what you guys are doing with Gen AI, and I'm learning a lot, and hopefully you are learning a lot. So, what I've noticed with prompting Gen AI to write emails from the activities that you've turned in are the fact that a lot of your prompts generated the following things. Now, keep in mind, this is not your fault. I didn't even know. We're all learning together. So don't be discouraged or disheartened. That being said, the prompts created the following types of emails with too much content, emails that were long winded and redundant, emails that included a lot of bullshit, too many words that said too little substance. They created cluttered language. They went overboard on the tone. So, going forward, I spoke to one of the students who said that she was not planning to use GenAI to actually write the draft of her project one email. That might be a good idea, but also you might want to try adjusting your prompts and adding some things. So when I noticed what other students did that got closer to this mark, there were some different things you might try out in your prompts going forward. For one, you might want to give it a suggested length. So you might want to say, I only want it to be 2 paragraphs, or I want my paragraphs to have 1 to 2 sentences, or I want my sentences to be quite short. You might talk about how it should write sparsely. So when you're writing your prompt, you might say, within this email, I want you to use no jargon. I would like you to write efficient and concise sentences. You might even take what it spits out, the draft that it creates, and say, thank you for this draft. You've got good information, but could you cut down on the word count? Could you work on taking out this? Could you use better, clearer language for a reader that has less time? You might also consider avoid prompting for tone and add that yourself, because a lot of your emails, and you all found this, if you asked it to do Southern Charm, it went really, really overboard and added some kind of a comical elements. So maybe you don't ask it to do tone, and that's part of your revision. So keep in mind that tone is not just using specific words. It could also be having a kind of short, more casual type of sentence. A lot of you focused on including contractions, which is a kind of word choice, but it's more like the way you use the words as opposed to the words themselves. Another thing that the AI did not do a very good job of is getting straight to the point in the emails, and doing so in a direct way that's going to help your audience actually quickly ascertain the information they need. So when you have something to ask of an audience, you don't want to bury that at the end of a paragraph or within several paragraphs of reading. And you also don't want to clutter up your ask. You want it to be super direct. So here's an example. I hope this email finds you well. I'm Michael Harris. It's truly heartening to hear about the work being done at Northview High School, and I would love to discuss a potential collaboration. It seems that the purpose of this email is to ask the recipient to set a meeting to begin a collaboration. That needs to come a lot faster, and I would love to discuss is not a direct ask. You need to say, I'm emailing to propose that we meet to discuss working together on blank. And you can use other kinds of ways to convey a warmer tone, but you do need to come straight out and be clear and say what you need and what you mean. So whenever you're writing these emails, readers should know why they're reading this email as fast as possible, and you need to be very clear about that. I also noticed that throughout some of these email drafts that you turned in for activity 2, all of the principles of clear and concise writing that we discussed in weeks 2 and 3 kind of went out the window. You guys had done some very good work on that, especially in your movie synopsis revisions. So things like "it would be greatly appreciated if" is something we maybe hear a lot, but it's totally unnecessary. "We would love if you," or "I would appreciate if you." That's more personal. It says a clear actor. "I would like this." "It would be greatly appreciated if" is very abstract. Your participation is crucial as your insights and feedback are highly valued in terms of meeting the needs of our community and workplace. First off, that's a very long sentence. Another thing is your participation is an abstract kind of noun, and is crucial. Again, your insights and feedback are valued by whom? So you can make this clearer, more direct, and more active by saying, when you participate, so that's an active verb, and this is a clear actor, and when you give feedback, it helps us meet the community's needs. So these are the kinds of things to keep in mind as you're composing. So I wanted to take a moment to look at some examples. So I really appreciated this person's work. I actually super appreciate all of your work because it's helping me and all of us make sense of how to use this tool better. But here's what I appreciate. So this is friendly. The exclamation point says a lot in terms of professional communication because the exclamation point is not really something that we use that much. Here's what I really, really like about it. I'm writing to confirm your upcoming meeting with our executive director. This is an immediate and clear and direct statement of the purpose. Then you have just the basics of the meeting below, and you have lots of white space. You have a bulleted list here so that they can quickly ascertain what they need to see. And then you have a quick little thing if you need to understand more. I have this person, but this gets in and out very quickly, is very friendly. Warm regards is great. Don't hesitate. And I really liked how this person said in their analysis, I added some contractions and changed the introduction and sign off to sound more Southern and fit the company voice. I also focused on the reader's needs as mentioned by keeping the agenda and adding the for your convenience. So this bit right here, the sign off using contractions as opposed to saying something like, y'all be good, you hear? You've got this kind of casualness without going overwrought and a little too overboard. Here's a moment when I really do feel like this sort of overwrought language might be appropriate. So first off, if you take a look at this email, it really looks great because you've got the subject and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 very brief paragraphs and you're done, right? So this is saying thank you for a birthday party. These are the moments when you're allowed to be a little bit more overwrought with your language and your tone, because ostensibly this is someone who is emailing their colleagues to be appreciative. So I would be a little bit circumspect of saying, express my sincerest gratitude, incredible birthday party. If you are speaking to a community partner or a client, these can become a little overwrought. But it really works out in this particular context. All of this I am absolutely fine with in terms of using that sort of intensity of tone and language. I wanted to show you one that I really, really like in so many ways, and I have some good ideas to show you how to improve this even more. So this person absolutely succeeded at the level of making it very personable, very clear, because there are 3 specific asks, but I have some ideas for how to improve. Hope y'all are doing just fine. It's your friendly community outreach communicator, Emily from CBA, and I've got some exciting updates about the Magic City Art Festival happening in downtown Birmingham on October 1st, 2023. I really love everything about this, but I have some suggestions. These are the next 2 paragraphs she has, and I have a way to kind of combine this here and maybe put it together here to eliminate some of this, and also to take a moment to say some of the southernness of language is a little too much. So now I'll be honest, this isn't your run-of-the-mill event. We're fixing to shine a big spotlight on our talented minority groups. A lot of this information is great, but I'll say that when you write down Southern colloquialisms like fixing to in writing, it doesn't work as well as it does whenever you're hearing it spoken aloud. It actually might impede the meaning. So what I would suggest is kind of combining all 3 of these and say, we cannot wait to have you at this event where we'll shine a spotlight on our talented minority groups in Birmingham. When you volunteer, participate, or attend this festival, you'll be helping put food on the table of some of our neighbors. So I think what's important about this is that you tell them, when you actually volunteer, when you do this, I like this concept of you'll help put food on the table. It tells them why they should participate. So you can almost just put this entire thing and then eliminate a lot of this right here, and that's as much as you need. Here's what I want to note here. She includes this part. She says, here are the updates, and she says first, next, and last. And I really like how it's quite concise and she's very spirited, but I think we could make that a lot more direct and a lot shorter. So, what if you just say, I've got 3 big asks for you today. We need this, make sure to do this, and help us do this. So these are ways that you can take these kinds of emails and improve them even more. Keep these tips in mind as you are working on your project 1, and feel free to reach out and ask any more questions.